I did my research. I learned some things that are important, just the basics of fitness, the basics of eating healthy, because I'm just starting this out. I'm not going to start out with this major, insane plan. It has to be short. And you'll hear about SMART objectives too. There are some people that do know this, and I'll introduce all of that later on, but it had to be something within reach. And it was something that I believe that I can do, and my support system has started to grow. With that research, I have all of that behind me now, and I'm going to add to it constantly, so I'm excited about it. So, my resources. I found plenty of free resources that are online, in books, just speaking to people, free. And I'll do that within the tech review, or within some of the things that work for the next entry. But this is all the background behind it. This is what I've learned so far, and I'll keep it short. Breakfast, kind of need that. When you wake up, your body's already hungry, so you have to eat. And eating a balanced meal is important to start your day out. To start my day, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. To start my day, breakfast is important. Eating more than 2 times a day, that's important too. I would probably eat 2 gigantic meals, and or just maybe 1 meal a day. I learned that eating smaller meals throughout the day has helped, and I believe that it will. Water, one of my best friends now. Sometimes I just can't stand the way that it tastes, and as any relationship goes with a best friend, sometimes you just can't stand each other. So I did water, and I continue to do that. And I noticed the days that I didn't drink water and had a little bit of alcohol, and by the end of the night I was like all slumped over. Not the kind of BFF that I need, so the water definitely did help. What else? Moving more and sitting less, that's helped. Also just talking about it and staying accountable. The most important thing is giving myself a break, not beating myself up too much. I worked out 2 out of the 4 days in the time that I was in DC. That means that the next time around, that I can do better than that. But the fact is that I worked out, and I did it twice. And that's better than a whole 0 out of 4. So I was 2 for 4 then. And I'm going to continue to encourage myself to do better. So now the theme of this entry is about relationships. And just want to talk a little bit about the relationships that I have. Developing a better relationship with my doctor. I avoided the doctor. I was not raised to see doctors. I do not like hospitals, none of that. So forming a better relationship with my doctor. A better relationship with my coworkers, because my coworkers, in the history of my doing this, celebrate with food. And it's not their fault. Like, that's what they do, and that's what I did. And having open communication with them and not holding it against them. The food is good, but the power that I allow it to have over me, I need to adjust. So my relationship with them really will just include lightening up some. Relationship with family. Okay, so let me speak about relationship with family and food. The rest of it, no, not even needed here. I'm one of 13 kids, so we ate. I mean, we didn't eat around the table, because how do you fit that many people around the table? When we had food, another story, grew up very poor. When we had food, we ate it in front of the TV, or we ate it really where there was room, because there were so many people in the house. And I found later that after I would always eat in front of the television, and my relationship with them has to change, because I won't be able to eat in front of the TV anymore. That means a lot. That was like family bonding. I got family bonding time basically, and won't be doing that anymore. and I want to become more active with them. And it's difficult because there are some of my family members who still aren't comfortable going out in public. And there's a long story behind that too. There are so many things behind it. So I just want to heal some relationships more. And I think that all goes into well-being, because it's not just fitness. It's all over well-being. What else? Looking at some more notes. Okay. The common denominator in all of my relationships is me. So I took some time and thought about what relationships I'd like to have in the future. And I want them to be healthy and affirming and supportive and all the things that I didn't experience for a long time. Had such a poor attitude coming out of an awful, abusive, terrible relationship, and I had a really bad attitude after that. Oh, one moment. Okay, so I think I just messed up by having the camera auto shift, so hopefully that works out better. In the relationship, I had the worst self-esteem. I went into it with poor self-esteem, so I'm not going to blame it on that. And after I left it, I was a bit of a beast. Like, I was a monster. I was not very kind. And some people would say, oh, I never noticed. Because it probably all the time wasn't outward. But I treated myself like crap and didn't believe that I was worth a lot. And felt like I lost some of the essential pieces of what made me kind or even close to happy. And I buried that with food and would do like shame eating and stuff that I can't even believe that I'm admitting right now, but my relationship suffered because of that. And even up until a couple of months ago, I didn't see how much that impacted me. And I was depressed and so unhappy. And it got me thinking even more when it comes to relationships. What do you expect out of them? My expectations for a healthy relationship include honesty and trust and support and the ability not to expect so much from other people. And it got me thinking even further. There are commitments that you make in relationships. And in these relationships, you have expectations. And in commitment ceremonies or weddings or whatever, you write vows. And then you say those vows in front of people. And you're supposed to have witnesses and before everything. And you make these promises to another person about how you're going to treat them. And there's really no consequence if you break a promise. I mean, of course, you can get divorced or the person leaves you, but a promise is really just words. And a guarantee is the promise that has action and consequences. So a guarantee is, if I don't get this done, then here's the consequence. So out of all the relationships that I wanted, or that I was involved in, I realized that I didn't even establish a relationship with myself that was nurturing and supportive and where I held myself accountable. And then also when I showed up for myself. I can be a big romantic and I can be all of those things and all of these great ideas that I have for other people, or I watch a movie and they're all great. It really didn't have much to do with myself. So to make this hopefully shorter, I wrote some guarantees to myself. And there is no way that anyone that comes in my future, or there's no way that I'm going to repair or nurture any of the relationships that I have with my friends or family unless I'm treating myself well first. So I guess that's why I'm doing all of this. I want to work on myself, and it's starting to feel pretty good. So I made some guarantees and wrote some vows to myself, as silly as that may sound. And I'm not going to share them because I think that there are some things that really should just be kept, like just kept right here. I've said a lot today, and Out of all the relationships in the world, for me, the most important one here, right here on Earth, where I am, and where time is pretty limited, is the relationship that I have with myself and the way that I treat myself before I can expect anything or expect to treat people differently. I'm very happy with the support. I hope that others can reach out and speak to each other, just as I've done with you over the past couple of weeks. And this is not easy. Again, speaking about personal things, and to be a big man who speaks about weight and the struggles and all the thing that comes behind it is difficult. But I believe I can do it. And I had some slip-ups and did some things that I thought were pretty brave. But that's just the beginning. And I'm not going to stop. So, I'm pretty happy with this. The next time that I meet with you all, I will go over the actual resources and hold my iPod up and show you some of the apps. Hopefully, within a week, I will have been a bit more tech savvy. And I'll talk to you about the Fitbit community, the 50 million pound challenge community, those who can connect on YouTube and other national sites, and how you can gain more support. And I'm actually very surprised that for the third week in a row I sat in front of this camera and tried again, because there were some points where I didn't feel like it. But there was something that I put on Facebook, and I really meant it. In 24 hours, you have many opportunities to change some things. And for 6 to 8 of those, you're probably sleeping. So that gives you up to 16 more hours throughout the day to get some things done. And it's hard. But I'm not going to give up. And that means that if I have to do it hour by hour, that's cool. If I have to struggle minute by minute or second by second, that's what I really mean that I'm going to. Because who knows what will happen, and I won't have the opportunity to do it again. So I'm going to learn more and going to fight this. And another thing, I bought a pair of gold jeans. Not gold, because that would be really bad. A pair of jeans that's not in my size that I wear now, but it's a size that I like to wear, and a size that I believe that I'm going to. And I'm going to keep on pushing forward. So please stay encouraged. Please stay in contact. Please stay active, because those are some of the main things that I have pushed myself to do. Take care, everybody, and keep moving. All right. See you next week.